President Trump tweeting yesterday on currencies, writing, quote, Russia and China are playing the currency devaluation game as the U.S. keeps raising interest rates. Not acceptable. Well, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin explained the president's move on Squawk Box this morning. Listen.
A warning shot at China and Russia about devaluation. China has devalued their currency in the past. Matter of fact, through 2016, they devalued it significantly. Starting in 2017, right after the president was elected, they've used a lot of their reserves to actually support the currency. So, the president wants to make sure they don't change these plans, and he's watching it.
Our Mike Santoli is with us, taking a look at currency ETFs for the ETF Spotlight. How exciting.
Yeah, we don't often think about currencies played through ETFs, but they actually paint the picture, as you pointed out, Sarah, that of course the dollar has been in a very weak trend against almost all currencies around the world. So therefore, this idea that somehow China and Russia might be devaluing right now doesn't necessarily, isn't reflected in the numbers. If you look at the UUP, this is the largest currency ETF. It's a bet on a stronger dollar. You see it's at a very steady downtrend, down about 10% on a 12-month basis.
That's a devaluation game.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and in fact, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin's comments today, this idea that you want to warn other countries not to devalue against an already weak dollar is kind of a ratification of a weaker dollar policy, you might think. You do see, though, that base. I mean, who knows? It could be that the dollar, this is basically mimicking the U.S. dollar index, is forming some kind of a base. If you want to see the inverse of this, the UDN is a way to play the dollar falling, and that's basically been a mirror image, up 10% on a year-to-date basis. Maybe more interesting is against individual currencies, because you also have these single currency pair ETFs that are out there, including FXE. That's basically dollar-euro. Naturally, the euro has been extremely strong, confounding a lot of expectations, up about 15% in the last 12 months. That's also, you see, there's kind of plateaued a little bit. So maybe there is kind of a turn happening. Maybe the Fed has something to do with that. Finally, there is a very small ETF, Wisdom Tree ETF, where you could play the Chinese yuan. So this is basically China's currency in dollar terms. You see there, that's the value of the Chinese currency climbing by way of this ETF.
All of this happening even as the Fed continues to talk pretty resolutely about maintaining a pace of hikes this year.
Exactly. And, and of course, some are maybe arguing that the real target of the president's tweet was, hey, Fed, be careful there. You don't want to get the dollar too strong, but it's really hard to discern.
I don't know. He's willing to tweet about currencies. I think he's probably willing to tweet about the Fed, too. I don't get the warning shot comment from the Treasury Secretary. I don't get how that's a warning shot or what the context of it
Also, it comes in the face of sanctions that have a lot to do with at least the ruble's trouble.
That's why the ruble's down.
Yeah, for Russia, absolutely. Yeah.
This whole notion of tweeting about, I mean, it's like how foreign policy experts probably feel when the president tweets about missiles, is how I feel when he tweets about currencies.
Right.
It's just like a little unsettling.
Right, and even with Treasury Secretary's comments today saying, well, look, starting in 2017, China used a lot of their reserves to support the currency. That implies that it would, they're actually actively doing the opposite of what the president is warning them not to do.
ETF Spotlight, a very good one. Maybe your best ever.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.